Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Vedanta Agarwal. Our lead focus at this hour, well, the big capital showdown after Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's arrest. Parallel developments taking place in the national capital. The Aam Aadmi Party ramping up its protests after Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's arrest. The Aam Aadmi Party held a candle march here at the heart of the national capital with Arvind Kejriwal's effective number 2, Atishi, leading the charge against the BJP with banners saying, "Main bhi Kejriwal." Well, this is the Aam Aadmi Party claim that Arvind Kejriwal released his first government order from prison. This was pertaining to the water crisis. But the Enforcement Directorate refuted the claims. In fact, sources have told NDTV that these claims are false. To which the Aam Aadmi Party sources say that, well, it's not the Enforcement Directorate saying this, but the BJP actually setting the narrative as far as Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's arrest and investigation is concerned. The BJP, meanwhile, demanding Arvind Kejriwal's resignation, saying that a Chief Minister cannot operate from a prison. At a key meeting, the Aam Aadmi Party also mulled its strategy. But what is the way forward? We'll come to that. But first, take a look at the day's developments. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal begins working from jail.
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने लिखा है कि मुझे पता चला है कि दिल्ली के कुछ इलाकों में पानी और सीवर की काफ़ी समस्याएं हो रही हैं। इसे लेकर मैं चिंतित हूँ। चूँकि मैं जेल में हूँ, इस वजह से लोगों को ज़रा भी तकलीफ नहीं होनी चाहिए। जहाँ पानी की कमी है, वहाँ उचित संख्या में टैंकरों का इंतजाम कीजिए।
केजरीवाल जी सरकार कैसे चलेगी 6 दिन? सर केजरीवाल
While Chief Minister continues his work, a united opposition decides to put up a joint front with an India bloc rally in Delhi on the 31st of March.
इस लड़ाई को और तेज करने के लिए और व्यापक बनाने के लिए हम लोगों ने यह निर्णय लिया है कि 31 तारीख को रविवार के दिन 10 बजे पूरी दिल्ली रामलीला मैदान में इकट्ठा होगी। महारैली इंडिया गठबंधन मिलकर के रामलीला मैदान चलो का नारा गूंजेगा दिल्ली के अंदर।
The India bloc has announced a mega march at Delhi's Ramlila Maidan next Sunday to protest against Arvind Kejriwal's arrest in the alleged liquor scam case.
लोकतंत्र के अंदर आप लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड भी जो है चुनाव में विपक्ष के लोगों को नहीं देना चाहते और उसके लिए आप कोई भी हथकंडा अपनाना चाहते हैं। आप चुने हुए मुख्यमंत्रियों को, चाहे हेमंत सोरेन जी हों, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी हों, चुनाव से पहले आप चुने हुए मुख्यमंत्रियों को कैद कर लेते हैं। आप किस तरीके का लोकतंत्र देश के अंदर बहाल करना चाहते हैं?
A united opposition is being countered by senior ministers of the ruling BJP, calling the decision of the Aam Aadmi Party to continue with Kejriwal as Chief Minister a sham.
गंभीर भ्रष्टाचार, वो भी शराब जैसे घोटाले में शर्मनाक कृत्य करके जो जेल गया है, वो जेल से सरकार चला रहा है। ये देश की जनता को दिख गया अरविंद केजरीवाल जी का असली चेहरा, उनकी भ्रष्ट सोच। केवल पैसा कमाने वो राजनीति में आए थे।
Massive political showdown continues between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP as Arvind Kejriwal is adamant that he will not resign from the post of Chief Minister, and therefore first orders were passed by Arvind Kejriwal from the ED custody today. It is Bharatiya Janata Party who had been demanding resignation of Arvind Kejriwal on the moral grounds as well. While we are witnessing that the entire India bloc leaders are coming together and they have planned a mega rally at Ramlila Maidan on March 31st, while on the other side Arvind Kejriwal is fighting the legal battle. It remains to be seen that whether he will get some sort of relief from the courts or whether he will be continuing his government from the ED custody. This is Ashwar Rajan with video journalist Sanjay Kaushik for NDTV in Delhi.
And joining me tonight on the broadcast, and being joined by Sumitra V. Goenka, political analyst who supports the BJP. Harish Khurana of the BJP is also with us. Akshay Marathi of the Aam Aadmi Party is on the panel as well. Also Sujata Paul, spokesperson of the Congress. Going across to you first, Akshay Marathi, what is the Aam Aadmi Party's strategy now? You have said that Arvind Kejriwal will continue as Chief Minister, but there are a lot of legal complexities around this as well. You know, to run a government from jail doesn't really seem like a practical proposition.
I'll address the legal question first and then I'll address the political question.
Yeah.
I will say the next 5 sentences, they will completely be factual. There will be no lies in it. And you
Go
can
ahead.
call me out if I'm lying. There is nothing in the Constitution of India that prevents Mr. Arvind Kejriwal from exercising his constitutional duty to serve the people of Delhi. There is no charge sheet filed against Arvind Kejriwal. There is no trial against Arvind Kejriwal. He has not been convicted of a single crime until this point. The only thing that has happened so far is the Enforcement Directorate has sought his remand, which the court has given for questioning. He is under suspicion according to the Enforcement Directorate. There is no crime that he has been convicted of. Okay, let's put the legal portion of this aside. Now, the political portion of this is that the Bharatiya Janata Party for the last 15 years has been trying to defeat the Aam Aadmi Party and has failed spectacularly. They've been humiliated time after time after time. And when everything else has failed, they have sought to decapacitate the sitting Chief Minister of Delhi, popularly elected Chief Minister of Delhi, who won 55% vote share, who won 62 out of 70 seats. They're trying by hook or by crook to take him out. But we will not accept the BJP's narrative on this. He has been sent by the people. When the people order him to leave, he will leave.
Yes.
But not when the Bharatiya Janata Party orders him to leave. The BJP has no role to play in this. They should do their job of actually investigating real corruption, which has happened in this case, which, if you give me just one more minute, this entire case has been built on the statement of one individual, Mr. Sarat Chandra Reddy, who is today a government approver. He was accused of the scam. Now he has turned an approver. This gentleman donated 60 crore rupees to the BJP after the BJP allowed him to turn approver. What is the connection between the accused in this scam and the Bharatiya Janata Party is a question that the BJP should answer.
Yes.
Why did they take 60 crore rupees bribe from this person?
So the
who is
point
now
you're making on Sharat
accusing
Chandra
Arvind
Reddy is an
Kejriwal?
important one. The point that you're making on that is important. And also, just looking at the larger context as well, and Harish Khurana come in on this, because this is something that was that Dr. Manu Singhvi said in court as well, that the timing is extremely suspicious. I mean, right ahead of the polls to trigger this sort of a constitutional crisis in the national capital, it's truly unprecedented. You have a sitting chief minister in jail. People will question the timing.
Vedant, you escaped 9 summons since October and you're raising the question on timing. When ED take a strict action against you, you raise a question against timing. Since last October, you have a time for Vipassana, you have a time for elections, you have time for Diwali, but no time in turning up and respecting what the law says and what ED wants to ask a few questions. You have no time to answer that. So now when they have taken a strict action, you are raising a great time. I was listening to Akshay Marathe. I mean, they were the same people. I remember Arvind Kejriwal used to say, when you have an allegation against you, resign first, then face the probe, and if you come clear, come back again. They were the people who used to say. Now what they are saying right now is, my Neta is in jail, no matter he's in jail, he will rule from there and he will be chief minister, he will not resign from the jail. What a kind of a turnaround from their politics, what they used to say and now what they say. Now,
no, and coming to the point of Sharat Chandra Reddy as well, what is your response on that?
Coming back to that, I mean, what a irony. You give a tekas to Sharat Chandra Reddy, you gave to tekas to the K. Kavita, and now you're objecting कि आपको पैसे क्यों मिले? Why you have got money from XYZ? That means you have got a money from Samir Mahindra, which we have a proof of that. I mean, you have taken a money from Samir Mahindra. That means you are culprit now.
Okay,
I mean, what kind of logic they are giving it?
Okay, so all of that perhaps is in the realm of investigation as well right now. These are accusations. We must sort of keep reiterating that, because a lot of these ED cases sort of fall flat in courts as well, and the conviction rate there is quite low. But anyway, Sujata Paul, what Harish Khurana said, that while you may say that this is linked to the elections, but the fact is that these are cases that have been in the making. Whether it was Mr. Hemant Soren, whether it's a liquor policy case, it has been a huge sort of a flashpoint here in Delhi for the past 2 years. So while now it's very well to say that it's related to the elections and perhaps there's some sort of political vendetta at play, but the fact is that these are corruption cases and the charges are very, very serious against top leaders.
Vedant, it's very interesting to note that 10 years this government has been in power. And it's only now, before the elections, when things are turning away from the BJP, that BJP is using every trick under the sun to dismantle the opposition. They are breaking governments, pulling them down. They are taking those people who they accuse of corruption into their party. They freeze our accounts, and media refuses to publish our advertisements, which disclose the kind of corruption that the BJP has indulged in by getting this huge amount of money through electoral bond scheme, which I call the PM Scares Fund. Darao और लोगों से पैसा लो. So this, and उनको फायदा दो. So, the fact is that today the BJP is rattled. BJP knows that the mood of the nation has gone away from them, and that is why they are trying to do all this. Why would they freeze our accounts, you tell me, just before elections? Why is it that the ED, CBI, let me just complete, IT is working full throttle just before the elections? After the model code of conduct comes into play, you have a sitting chief minister arrested. They are the ones who are bringing in this situation and saying that the chief minister who's been arrested now should resign. By who are they to decide? Let them decide.
Let me get Sumitra Goenka to respond to this, and then I'll come to you, Harish. Sumitra Goenka, as a political analyst, just looking at the situation objectively, you have the Congress, sort of a beleaguered Congress, talking about its frozen accounts. You have the Aam Aadmi Party, whose star campaigner, whose principal vote catcher, whose patriarch is now in custody. You have Hemant Soren being arrested. So, is it a level playing field? Look at it objectively, going beyond the political rhetoric. Is it, a healthy democracy that is being represented with top opposition leaders in jail? The world is looking at India now. These are the biggest elections in 2024. Are we sending out, what sort of a message are we sending out to the world?
Yeah, good evening, Vedant. See, when we talk about level playing field, I think the opposition has to increase their capabilities. They cannot do wrongs, and then when the ED, or say, for example, there are various parties whom they accuse. First, they get into the blame game, like they have blamed the judges, they have blamed the Supreme Court, they are blaming the ED, they have blamed the EVM machines, they have blamed the CBI. Now, in the matter of electoral bonds, just because BJP has received the maximum amount, they are blaming the electoral bonds. So everybody they are blaming here. Now, if you look at the blame game hasn't worked. They were blaming the industrialists also. There were 2-3 names of industrialists which they completely kept on saying have donated to the electoral bonds. Even that theory fell flat. So now the problem which the opposition is facing is none of their excuses are holding ground in front of the people. So they have started saying that we have been victimized. Now let me answer two things. One is about the Congress. The Congress is saying that their accounts have been freezed, which is actually not true. There is a lien, and secondly, this is a case which is happening for a long time. Around 8-9 years this case is going on, and they have to reply to the income tax appellate tribunal, and they have also approached the High Court, and I believe their matter is pending.
Not getting into too many details regarding that, because I mean it's a case that needs a separate sort of reflection on it. Akshay Marathe, very quickly, your response to that, because while as Sumitra Goenka pointed out, there's this sort of blame game. The opposition says it's being victimized, but the fact of the matter is that as Harish Khurana also said, there have been 9 summons that were skipped by Arvind Kejriwal. Manish Sisodia was arrested long back. Sanjay Singh was arrested long back. So these are cases that need to be investigated, and many would say that let the law take its own course and don't bring politics into it.
Vedant, before I answer your question, let me just point out to your viewers, and this is not to get personal at all, the person who spoke before me, Ms. Sumitra Goenka, she's not an independent political analyst. She's the wife of BJP spokesperson Vineet Goenka, and she should say that on live television instead of pretending to be a political
and that disclosure was made at the very outset, Akshay Marathe, that I made that disclosure that she supports the BJP, but go ahead, Akshay Marathe.
I have never attended a BJP meeting.
Akshay Marathe, go ahead.
How does it affect?
Sumitra Goenka, I made that disclosure right at the top that you are a political analyst who supports the BJP. Akshay Marathe, go ahead and make your point.
I am
This
not
is
a member
exactly
of the
what
BJP,
the enforcement directorate. This is exactly what the enforcement directorate says, that they are an independent body,
so
but they are actually a BJP body.
Somebody, you are
So when the BJP,
Sumitra Goenka, let him make his point. Yeah, go ahead.
when the BJP accuses Ajit Pawar of a 70,000 crore rupee scam and the ED files a charge sheet in that case, and he joins the BJP government in Maharashtra and becomes Deputy Chief Minister, then where does the Enforcement Directorate case go away suddenly? When Himanta Biswa Sarma is accused by Amit Shah of a 5,000 crore rupee scam and he joins the BJP and becomes the Chief Minister of Assam, where does the Enforcement Directorate case against him go away suddenly? Chhagan Bhujbal was in ED custody for 2 years. He joins the BJP, the ED case disappears. So how can anyone take the ED seriously? The country is watching this and thinks they have made the whole country's investigative body a joke.
Okay.
Our justice system has been turned into a joke by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, Harish Khurana, your response to that, because you know this whole charge of political vendetta cannot be overlooked entirely, because you see Arvind Kejriwal, Harish Khurana, Arvind Kejriwal was perhaps one of the only leaders that has proven that the BJP can be defeated electorally. I mean, the Aam Aadmi Party defeated you here in the MCD polls, at the assembly polls as well. So perhaps that is one thing aspect that you have to look at as well. The point about political vendetta is not entirely wrong.
2 points. When you allegate that thing it's a political vendetta, you are disrespecting the honorable courts. The reason I'll tell you, since last 14 months, Manish Sisodia is in jail, where now Arvind Kejriwal has been arrested in the same case. He's been in jail since last 14 months. He's not getting bail since last 16 times. And security petition of Manish Sisodia has been dismissed 3 days back only. So Sanjay Singh is in jail, Vijay Nair is in jail. So on these, I mean, when you say this, the political vendetta is going on. I mean, it's by the order of the court, not by the order of the ED. They've been arrested. Now, I was coming back to what the Congress spokesman used to say, कि हमारा तो account freeze हो गया, ये level playing field is not there. I mean, again, they are disrespecting what the law says and what the honorable court says. I'm pointing this thing. It's a headline where it is clearly said concrete evidence against Congress with IT department. Says Honorable High Court.
Okay,
I'm not saying this.
Your response to that,
I'm not saying this.
Yes.
Honorable Court has given you no relief. I mean, there's no relief for you.
Go
and
ahead,
you're blaming political vendetta.
Yes. You know, we got one income tax notice from Sitaram Kesriji's time. And when we are talking about the ED is actually working like the election department. And that is why this is happening, because in the case of this Delhi liquor gate also, tell me, if Sarath Reddy is arrested on a particular day and 5 days
comment
later
on this now, High Court observation.
He buys 5 crore worth of electoral bonds and the money is going to BJP, and then again when he gets bail and he turns
I'm afraid I'm completely running out of time. I'm completely running out of time.
So JP Nadda should be in jail, no?
Okay, Sumitra Goenka, quick last 30 seconds. Go ahead.
The BJP should be booked now.
Yeah, I want to just make a comment to Mr. Akshay Marathe. It just shows their regressive mindset where they are, trying to relate an independent woman with a party which he is not a member of. Why can't I have my independent opinion?
Okay, that's a different debate altogether. But anyway, it is certainly a complex question to answer. How is the Chief Minister going to operate and run a government? It certainly is a constitutional crisis in Delhi. Just a month left for the crucial Lok Sabha polls, the big political showdown in the capital. Thanks all very much for joining us on the program tonight. This remains our top focus on NDTV. For now, a short break.